Thank you. I would like to call to order the meeting of the City Council for the City of Wheat Ridge, Colorado for April 26th, 2021. You will see the American flag come on the screen, and in a moment, if you would please rise as you are able and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Would the clerk please call the roll of the members?
Denise Hoppy.
Present.
Judy Hutchinson.
Here.
Zachary Urban.
Here.
Rachel Hulteen.
Present.
Amanda Weber.
Here.
Corey Stites.
Here.
Leah Dozman. Councilmember Dozman appears to have been delayed.
Okay.
Valerie Nosler Beck. She must be with Leah.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, we have a quorum present.
Okay.
I'll make
Hopefully our members will be able to join us before long. Our next order of business, we have a number of proclamations and ceremonies tonight, mostly proclamations, all proclamations. The first one is for Arbor Day, and I note that we have with us Karen O'Donnell, our Director of Parks and Recreation, and several of her associates are here with us tonight, and I would like to welcome them here and read a proclamation for Arbor Day and Tree City Day, or Tree City USA, April 30th, 2021. Whereas trees have always been regarded as an important asset to the residents of the community of Wheat Ridge, providing one of the first business opportunities in the 1860s. And whereas trees continue to be respected as an important part of the quality of life to the community members of the city of Wheat Ridge and visitors, enhancing property values and promoting community spirit. And whereas our mature trees are suffering from the devastation of environmental stresses, including insects and disease, winter drought, and severe temperatures. And whereas residents, businesses, green industry, elected officials, and staff continue to work together to maintain and provide for tree-covered streets, parks, and properties as part of a comprehensive community forestry program. And whereas the City of Wheat Ridge has been awarded Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation, now therefore be it resolved that I, Bud Starker, Mayor of the City of Wheat Ridge, do hereby declare Friday, April 30th, 2021, as City of Wheat Ridge Arbor Day celebration, encouraging community members and businesses of Wheat Ridge to care for, enjoy, and appreciate trees in your yards and neighborhoods. In witness whereof, on this 26th day of April 2021, Bud Starker, Mayor. And I would like to introduce Karen O'Donnell. And Karen, would you like to say something? And I know that you have several of your staff with you.
Thank you, Mayor and members of council, for your kind words. I did invite our forestry technician, Jim Romelt, here, and our Parks Forestry and Open Space Manager, Zach Lovato, to say a few words. I know that Jim's a little under the weather, so I'm super glad to see that he's here with us, but I'm not sure if he's going to want to unmute and say anything. So I'll leave that up to him. But Zach, if you'd like to say a few words.
Yes, thank you, Karen. Unfortunately, in 2020, we didn't have a Arbor Day celebration the way we would like to have had. We didn't celebrate much of anything in 2020 the way we like to normally celebrate. But this year, we're looking forward to some celebrations that we're having with the community. We're planting some trees down at Creekside with our partners at IES, Environmental Education, and we're partnering with the Mile High Youth Corps. We're going to be doing some treatments for the emerald ash borers this year, and some surveying of our trees in inventories inventory of our trees to make sure that we have all of the information that we can use to help manage our forestry better. And also we're running a tree challenge right now. So if you go to our website, you can see where we're inviting the community to go out and check out some gold medal trees in the city of Wheat Ridge. And the challenge is to identify these trees, take a good close look at them, take a selfie with them if you'd like, and enter into a contest. At the end of the contest, we'll be giving away a tree sometime in the end of May. And you don't necessarily need to be a resident, but if a non-resident does win, we will find a resident within the city of Wheat Ridge, so make sure that we can plant a tree in the city as well. And that's all I have.
Well, terrific. Thank you. Thank you, Zach, and for joining us. And I see Jim Rommel is here with us, and Karen O'Donnell. You all do a great job on our trees. We've got some beautiful trees in the city. It's a challenge, I know, because they grow faster than you really think they do, and they get larger than you think they might. But it's great to have these assets in our community, and we really appreciate the care and help that you provide our citizens to take care of those. So thank you very much. Okay, our next proclamation is in honor of Municipal Clerks Week, which is on May 2nd through 8th. And we have with us, as we do on all of our meetings, our clerk, Steve Kirkpatrick. And tonight, we're really pleased to have Robin Eaton with us, our deputy city clerk. Robin does great work in the city. So, whereas the office of the municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world. And whereas the office of the municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants and provides the professional link between the community members, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels. And whereas municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. And whereas the duties of the municipal clerk are many, including serving as the official record keeper for the municipality, issuing licenses and permits, facilitating the annual Board of Review and Municipal Redistricting Project, attending meetings, and serving as a community resource. And whereas municipal clerks continue to strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. And whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the municipal clerk, now therefore be it resolved that I, Bud Starker, Mayor of the City of Wheat Ridge, do recognize the week of May 2 through 8, 2021 as Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our municipal clerk, Steve Kirkpatrick, and Deputy City Clerk, Robin Eaton, and all municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. And witness thereof on this 26th day of April, 2021. Bud Starker, Mayor, and I want to once again welcome our clerk, City Clerk Steve Kirkpatrick, and Robin Eaton with us. And I will turn it over to our Clerk Kirkpatrick for a word or an introduction to the Deputy Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank all of you for this recognition. I would like for Robin to say a few words because I just hold the title. He does 90% of the work. So I thought it would be appropriate for him to accept the acknowledgement.
Robin, welcome to our meeting, and absolutely, you do a lot of great work for our city.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Steve was leading into, on behalf of the City Clerk's Office and City Clerk Steve Kirkpatrick, I want to thank you for this proclamation, where the municipal clerk is the oldest of public servants. And no offense, Steve. This position plays a critical part in maintaining an effective local government. This is the 52nd annual Professional Clerks Week that is sponsored by our International Institute of Municipal Clerks Association. We call them the IIMC, and they have members in US, Canada, and 15 other countries, including Portugal and Belgium. And as always, it's a pleasure to serve you along with the citizens of the great city of Wheat Ridge, and we will constantly endeavor to succeed in that service. I thank you again.
Well, Robin, thank you very much, and thank you for the very great service that you absolutely. Here's a little for both of you in the office. You guys do a great job. We have a lot of faith in you for the work that you do in the community. So thank you very much. Always good to have that accuracy and degree of professionalism that you provide, and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, our next proclamation is in recognition of Public Service Week. And I know that we have a number of city employees who are terrific public service joining us tonight, and I want to welcome all of you, and just as an introduction to say thank you very much for the work that you do for us. We really appreciate it. So this is a proclamation in recognition of Public Service Week, May 2 through 8th, 2021. Whereas Americans are served every day by public service servants at the federal, state, county, and city levels who make life better for all of us. And whereas public employees and volunteers make great contributions to their communities by serving in areas such as health, education, crime prevention, fire protection, and conservation. And whereas the employees of the city of Wheat Ridge are committed to exhibiting the highest standards of excellence, dedication, creativity, and skills. And whereas the dedicated employees and volunteers of Wheat Ridge are an integral part of improving the quality of life in our city by being responsive to the needs of residents and businesses, and by supporting city services, thus making Wheat Ridge a special place to live, work, and play. And whereas the effectiveness and efficiency of government depends in large measure on public employees and volunteers whose task it is to provide outstanding customer service on a daily basis. And whereas the city of Wheat Ridge recognizes the dedication and talents of its employees and volunteers, as well as the importance of the services they render to all levels of government. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Bud Starker, Mayor of the city of Wheat Ridge, Colorado, do hereby proclaim the week of May 2 through 8th, 2021 as Public Service Recognition Week in the city of Wheat Ridge. And I call upon all members of our community and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing our public service, and to recognize the contributions that public service employees and officials make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and the quality of our lives. In witness thereof, on this 26th day of April, 2021, Bud Starker, Mayor. And I want to thank all of you for joining us, and I want to go to either to Patrick to do a little speaking now.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for that proclamation. I think this year, this means even more to all of us. And I did ask for a diverse group of our great employees to join us tonight, just so you could see their faces. And I do want to introduce them here in a second. But, you know, the proclamation, the words that really stood out in this proclamation are committed. Our employees, it's just amazing. You know, I've been with the city for almost 19 years, and we've have some very long tenured employees, as you all know, and we're seeing some retirements. And I think it just shows you what a great organization that we have. If people are going to stick around that long, right? They must like it for some reason. And I think that's part of our culture and our community that we've developed in our organization, and our great city council and mayor that we have today. And excellence and dedication and creativity and skills. You know, I think creativity was a big word this last year. It's just amazing what this staff has done to get us through this last year. It's, you know, I think we still kind of get goosebumps when we talk about it, because I think we're just so proud of the accomplishments we've had over this last year. So there's some faces on here, and I just want to call them out, but in no specific order here, but I think I got everybody. So Daryl Guadagnola is on. He's the division chief. Daryl, you on there? You're still on here? I saw you. Where'd you go? Yeah, there you are. Daryl, you want to wave? There you go. Commander Shelley Sulcer is on here still. Yep, thanks for the wave. Michael Steinke, our IT manager, he's been with us forever and kept us virtual this last year. Mike Thyssen, our chief building official, there he is down in the corner. Thanks, Mike. Stephanie Stevens, senior planner. Hi, Stephanie. Bill LaRoe, our stormwater coordinator, keeping all of our water safe. Greg Knutson, our public works director. He's been here for many years in many roles. Thanks, Greg. Zach Lovato, you just heard from, our parks, forestry, and open space manager. Jim Romelt, I'm not sure if he's still listening, but thanks, Jim. Hope you're feeling better. He's in our forestry department. And Robin Eaton, who you've heard from, our deputy city clerk. And then, of course, Chief Murtha, Ali Sheck, our administrative services director, Susie Anderson. You on there still, Susie? Yep, our recreation manager. And I don't think I missed anybody. Did I miss anybody, Ali? Karen O'Donnell, there she is. Karen O'Donnell, our parks and rec manager. So,
Okay, well, listen, you know, that's a great group to join us tonight. And I know that there are many, many behind the scenes who didn't. And I want to give all of you congratulations and really thank you for what you do for our community. We truly appreciate it. And thanks again. And we hope you all have a great summer. We're looking forward to seeing everybody sort of not on screens, but in real life. So let's keep working towards it. And thanks so much for all you do. Okay, our next proclamation is in recognition of National Health Month in May 2020. And I'm very pleased to have Susan Anderson, our recreation manager, here. And we were hoping to have Julia Marvin with the Jefferson Center here with us. And Ali, I don't know if she's here, but
she is. I think she's just turning on her camera.
okay, terrific. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Whereas good mental health is essential to the overall health and emotional well-being of all children, youth, adults, and families, and promotes a healthy community. And whereas 1 in 5 people in our communities experience a mental health condition each year, and whereas 81% of individuals in our communities experience substance abuse disorder each year, and whereas increased focus on the prevention of mental health conditions and substance abuse disorders among children and adolescents through screening and early intervention helps improve lives, and whereas the stigma against mental health conditions and substance abuse disorders prevents many people from accessing care, and whereas when mental health problems and substance abuse disorders are detected early and treated, people can recover and maintain a healthy and independent life. And whereas the City of Wheat Ridge is dedicated to improving the health and well-being of its residents by ending stigma and focusing on the integrated role of mental health in all of our lives. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Bud Starker, Mayor of the City of Wheat Ridge, Colorado, do hereby proclaim May 2021 as Mental Health Month and call upon all residents, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses and schools to recommit our communities and resources to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, providing appropriate and accessible service for all community members, and making mental health a priority. In witness whereof on this 26th day of April, 2021. So I want to recognize Susan and turn it over to you, Susan.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I do want to let you know that Julia Marvin is going to speak today. And so go ahead.
Great. Julia, thank you for joining us.
Mayor, thank you for Mayor and Council. Thank you for having us tonight. I'm Julia Marvin. I'm the marketing manager at Jefferson Center, and on behalf of the board, the staff, and clients of Jefferson Center, thank you for issuing this proclamation and recognizing May as Mental Health Month in Jefferson County and here in Wheat Ridge. You know, at Jefferson Center, through a broad array of services and programs, we offer hope and support to people of all ages who are struggling with some of life's toughest challenges. And we've obviously seen, you know, there's been a lot more tough challenges this past year. And in fact, last year alone, we touched the lives of more than 34,000 people. And we couldn't do that without the support of our community partners. So thank you. 1 in 5 people will experience a mental health or substance use disorder over the course of their lives. And behavioral health disorders are more common than cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. And without treatment, these disorders can affect a person's ability to hold a job, care for a family, or have hope that things will get better. And yet, less than half of people with a diagnosable mental health illness will seek treatment, either because of the stigma associated with mental illness or because they don't know where to turn. And that is why your support of Mental Health Month is so important. Together, we will increase awareness and reduce the stigma that's often associated with mental health and substance use disorders. And when that stigma fades, more people will seek care and our community will become stronger and healthier. Jefferson Center truly values the support of Wheat Ridge, and thank you again for recognizing Mental Health Month and for supporting Jefferson Center. We couldn't do all of this important work without you, so thank you.
Well, Julia, thank you very much. Thanks for being here tonight, and thanks to you and the other professionals in your organization and other similar organizations throughout our city and county that work hard to provide these services for our citizens and residents. And I think that all of us, if we can, when we see another person, another human being, if we can look them in the eye and give them a smile, and let's know that as we come out of a really tough year, sort of being away from everyone, that hopefully we can smile and create a positive attitude so that we increase all of the mental health for the children and adults throughout our community. So, but thank you very much for your work that you do with us. Okay, we are coming to our last one, which is a proclamation in recognition of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. And with us tonight, we have some members of the Wheat Ridge for Equity, which is doing work in our community, and I want to welcome them to our meeting tonight. And I know that we have Ed and Kara, and I'm going to try your name, Nepomuceno. I don't know if I got that anywhere near correct, but welcome.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you with us. And we also have Suaha, and I lost your name. Ama Singhram. Is that anywhere close to the pronunciation?
Not even close, but it's okay.
That's okay. You can.
Amarasingam.
All right. Well, thank you. I knew that you would have the correct pronunciation, and thank you very much for joining us tonight. Whereas Asian Pacific American Heritage Month is a month to celebrate and pay tribute to the contributions of generations of Asian Pacific Americans to American history, society, and culture. And whereas on March 28th, 1979, President Carter issued proclamation number 4650, the first presidential proclamation for Asian Pacific American Heritage Week, recognizing the significant role Asian Pacific Americans have played in the creation of a dynamic and pluralistic American society with their contributions to the sciences, arts, industry, government, and commerce. And whereas the month of May was chosen to commemorate the immigration of the first Japanese to the United States on May 7, 1843, and to mark the anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad on May 10, 1869, whose tracks were mostly laid by Chinese immigrants. And whereas generations of Asian Pacific Americans of all backgrounds have been inspirational examples of leaders and trailblazers and have a long-standing history of making significant cultural, economic, and scientific contributions across the United States. And whereas we are disturbed and alarmed by the severity and frequency of hate crimes and race-based harassment against Asians and the Asian Pacific Islander communities, and we will not tolerate any form of racism against Asians and Asian Americans in our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Bud Starker, Mayor of the City of Wheat Ridge, Colorado, formally designate the month of May 2021 as Asian Pacific American Heritage Month and encourage everyone to commemorate this important occasion in recognition of the numerous contributions made by the Asian American and Pacific Islander communities, locally, nationally, and globally, in witness whereof in this 26th day of April, 2021. So Ed and Kara, would you care to say a few words and Saha?
Yes, you just recognized 60% of the world's population. Our ancestry is from there. It covers more than 90, close to 100% of the Buddhist, Hindu, and Islamic traditions. Asia was the beginnings of Christianity. And those of us expatriates here, or descendants who have been here for a long time, still celebrate the Christian pagan festivals of the summer and winter solstice. So we have a lot in common, just twice, 2 days of the year.
Well, thank you. Well, I want to welcome you for being here. And Ed?
Just thanks for recognizing the AAPI community here in Wheat Ridge. My wife and I really do appreciate being, included. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. And I want to recognize that we have Morgan Richards with us, who's been instrumental in bringing a number of these issues forward. And I want to say that I believe the Asian Pacific Islander contributions in our society are significant, and your presence enriches our community as we learn and grow together. So thank you very much for being here tonight.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. That concludes our proclamations and ceremonies, and I'd like to thank once again all of the folks who joined us here tonight. Okay, we're going to move forward in our agenda. Our next order of business is the approval of the minutes. And in your package, you have study session notes of April 5, 2021, and council minutes of April 12 of 2021, and study session notes of April 19th of 2021. Are there any corrections to the notes or the minutes? Ms. Hoppy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to note that in the minutes that we received in our packet, the April 5th study session notes, those were a draft set. Clerk Kirkpatrick emailed out everybody the final set earlier today to review, and that set is also the one that is in the official record in our on our website and in our microfiche. So if you notice that you have changes for that one, please know that we saw that and we corrected those.
Okay, we will make that correction, and thanks to our clerk Kirkpatrick for sending out those revised notes. Any other corrections? Okay, with that, with those notations, we will let the minutes stand. On the approval of the agenda, are there any objections for the agenda to move forward as presented? Seeing none, we'll move forward on our agenda. We are now at our citizens' right to speak. Citizens may speak on any matter not on the agenda tonight for a maximum of 3 minutes under citizens' right to speak. If you would like to speak, please raise your hand in the Zoom format. Raise your hand at the bottom of our screen. It's located in the participant icon. So if you'll click on that, you'll see at the bottom right hand a little words that say raise hand. If you will click that, we will bring you into our meeting. And when we do, if you would please give us your first name and your last name. If you would please spell your last name for the record and give us your address, then you will have 3 minutes to address the council. And if you are able to gather 2 additional speakers, you may aggregate time to 9 minutes. If you do, please give us, have your other speakers there available to donate their time. I think that's all of the instructions, and I'll go to Ms. Scheck and see if we have people with their hands up that would like to speak tonight.
There are no hands up, Mayor.
Okay, I'll give it a few more seconds. If you're on the telephone, please unmute yourself and we will bring you into the meeting. Once again, if you would like to speak, please raise your hand in the Zoom format and we will bring you into the meeting. Okay, I don't see anyone, so we will close our citizens' right to speak and move to our agenda item number 1. Ms. Hoppy, would you please introduce this item?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm honored to present the consent agenda. Item 1A, motion to approve payment to Bank of Oklahoma for 2021 principal and interest payments in the amount of $3,497,100 for the City of Wheat Ridge Sales and Use Tax Revenue Bonds Series 2017A. Consent agenda item 1B, resolution number 17-2021, a resolution designating the municipal building main entrance as the official public notice posting location and for the Jeffco transcript as the official newspaper of general circulation for city publications in 2021. Consent agenda item 1C, resolution number 18-2021, a resolution amending the fiscal year 2021 general fund budget to reflect the approval of a supplemental budget appropriation in the amount of $31,845 and the addition of 1 full-time employee for the licensing technician. Consent agenda item 1D, motion to approve the appointment of Councilmember Amanda Weaver to the City of Wheat Ridge Seizure and Forfeiture Committee.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve consent agenda items 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D? For that, I want to go to Mr. Urban.
Sorry, excuse me, go ahead.
Okay, Ms. Hoppy.
Thank you. I move to approve consent agenda items 1A, B, C, and D.
Do I hear a second? Second from Mr. Stites. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by raising your hand so the clerk can see it. And would the clerk please record the votes?
Mr. Mayor, the motion has passed unanimously.
Thank you very much.
To note that all members of council have been present since shortly after you called the meeting to order.
Thank you very much and welcome Ms. Dozman and Ms. Nosler-Beck. We will go to agenda item number 2. Ms. Nosler-Beck, would you please introduce this item?
Thanks, Mayor. Resolution number 19-2021, a resolution amending the 2021 Open Space Fund budget to reflect the approval of a supplemental budget appropriation in the amount of $516,000. Sorry, $516,100 for the purpose of the Prospect Park Phase 2 project.
Thank you. Would you read what's at issue in this item?
Yeah, I actually even practiced this just so everybody knows. So at issue, the Open Space Fund budget in 2021 includes $1.8 million for the Prospect Park Phase 2 project. Construction costs have increased significantly since the project was designed in 2018. Therefore, we are requesting a supplemental budget appropriation in the amount of $516,100 from the Open Space Fund undesignated reserves to complete this phase of the project in 2021.
Thank you very much. Mr. Goff, do we have any further staff presentation on this item?
We have Karen O'Donnell and Zach Lovato here, but if you have any questions, I think they're both here to answer any questions.
Okay, terrific. Before we go to questions from council, I will open this up to the public to see if there's anyone who would like to speak on this item. If you would like to speak on item number 2, now is your opportunity. If you would please raise your hand in the Zoom format, we will bring you into the meeting and you may speak. And I will pause just a moment to see if we have anyone who would like to speak on this.
No hands raised, Mayor.
Okay, I don't see anyone with their hands raised. I'll give it just a couple of more seconds to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to get to the button. Sometimes they're hard to find. Okay, well, that's as much as I'll be able to talk on that. And so we will close our public comment and we will open this up to any questions from council. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, this is a resolution of the council. Ms. Nosler-Beck, may I have a motion, please?
Thanks, Mayor. I move to approve resolution number 19-2021, a resolution amending the 2021 Open Space Fund budget to reflect the approval of a supplemental budget appropriation in the amount of $516,100 for the purpose of the Prospect Park Phase 2 project.
Thank you. And do we have a second? We have a second from Mr. Urban. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we will go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by raising your hand so the clerk can count the votes. And would the clerk please count the votes?
Mr. Mayor, the motion has passed unanimously.
Thank you very much. This brings us to agenda item number 3. Ms. Weaver, would you please introduce this item?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is resolution number 2021, a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between Porchlight, a family justice center, and the City of Wheat Ridge concerning the provision of police department services at the center. Porchlight, a family justice center, began operations on February 25th, 2021, and has been open serving victims and survivors since that time. The attached memorandum of understanding is proposed in an effort to establish the expectation and commitments of service providers affiliated with Porchlight.
Thank you. Mr. Goff, do we have any further staff presentation on this item?
Maybe a brief report from either Division Chief Guadola or Chief Murtha, maybe to give a little bit more background on this might be great for the public.
Okay, I see Chief Murtha stepped right up. Chief Murtha, the floor is yours.
I only stepped up to say that Division Chief Guadagnola has worked extensively on with Porchlight and on this, and it's an important new aspect of I think victim outreach and victim coordination. Started through the District Attorney's Office, really for victims of violent crime. But I'll let Chief Guadagnola maybe say a few words and give you some insight.
Chief Guadagnola.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for giving me a moment this evening. Porchlight, our Family Justice Center, has opened to the public. It opened in February. As you're aware, the city's been a partner with the Family Justice Center since the time the idea was conceived, and at one point gave Porchlight $18,000 to help get the doors open. The center's now open to the public, and a range of service providers operate out of Porchlight. As there are a number of different entities and service providers working out of Porchlight, this MOU is important because it reaches some agreement with regard to the basic center operations, conduct, and general expectations of all the service providers. What we've been asked to do is enter into this agreement, and in its simplest form, just work cooperatively with everybody. It obligates our police department to appoint a liaison to Porchlight and to try to respond there when needed within an hour. But there's no financial obligations, and it's basically a shared operating agreement for service providers. So I'd be happy to answer any questions, but we're happy that it's up and running and happy to be a part of it.
Well, thank you very much, Deputy Chief Guadagnola. Before we go to questions from council, I'd like to open this up to members of the public to speak on agenda item number 3. If you would like to speak on this is your opportunity. If you would please unmute yourself in the Zoom format, we'll bring you into the meeting. And I will wait a few moments here to see if we have anyone who would like to speak on this. Ms. Scheck, do you see anyone with their hands raised?
No, Mayor.
Okay, I'll give it 1 or 2 more seconds, just because I know sometimes it's hard to find the button. All right, we will, I don't see anyone, so we'll close our public comment period and open it up to questions from council. If you'd like to ask a question or speak on this item before we go to Ms. Hulteen.
I don't have any questions, but I just want to share, I was able to tour the facility shortly before it opened, and it's an extraordinarily impressive coordinated effort to reach people in our community where it's most needed. So I'm really, really pleased that this is open and operating in our community, and wish it much success. And if you haven't had a chance to go visit, I highly recommend getting a tour because I was unbelievably impressed. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you. Any other comments before we go to a motion? Ms. Hoppy.
I was going to hold my comments for after the motion, but since I opened the floor, I just wanted to say I was there for the ribbon cutting, and I agree with Ms. Hulteen. It is a a wonderful facility. What I found really striking about it is that it's very comfortable from the minute you walk into the front door, and it feels very safe. And that is something that victims of many of these crimes, they need to feel as though they're walking into a safe space to be able to be open and to accept the services that are offered there. I think that we need more of these in our surrounding communities, and I'm really looking forward to having successful data so that this can hopefully be a project that can pilot more projects down the road. So thank you very much to our police department that's worked very hard, and they have 75 different services, different service providers that work hand in hand there. And I just am very grateful for everyone who puts the effort into making it successful. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further discussion on this? Okay, Ms. Weaver, may I have a motion on agenda item number 3?
You may. I move to approve resolution number 2021, a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between Porchlight, a family justice center, in the city of Wheat Ridge.
We have a motion and a second by Ms. Hoppy. Is there discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by raising your hand, and will the clerk please record the votes?
Mr. Mayor, the motion has passed 8-0.
Okay, thank you very much. That completes the business portion of our meeting. I would like to go now to city managers matters. Mr. Goff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple quick items. I mentioned to City Council a couple weeks ago that we submitted a request to Congressman Perlmutter's office for $10 million for phase 2 of the Wadsworth project. We did recently hear that he is submitting that for funding. There's no guarantee we're going to get the funding, but it's going to be submitted as part of the transportation bill to Congress, and the current transportation bill expires in September. So as you know, legislation in Congress, there's no guarantees for anything, but we're hoping that project is going to make it into that bill. So we should know a little bit more by June or July if there's a chance for that. So some good news there. And then also, not to steal the mayor's thunder, but you may want to speak about this a little bit more, Mayor, but we do have a community meeting scheduled for May 11th, a community meeting on homelessness. And we're going to have numerous experts come to speak and present to our community and our residents on what's happening in Wheat Ridge and what services are out there, and what we're doing both as a city and as a metro area to combat these issues and help out our homeless population. So that's, again, May 11th. It'll be a Zoom meeting and starts at 6:30. I know the information is out there on our social media, and so happy to have anybody on that call. That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Stites has his hand up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Patrick, is that going to be recorded and put up on like Channel 8 or on YouTube? Or yeah, okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you. City Attorney's Matters, Mr. Dahl.
Thank you. Nothing tonight. Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks so much. Before I go to elected official matters, I want to recognize that we have our Police Chief, Chris Murtha, with us. Chief, I want to give you the opportunity to say a few words if you'd like.
I'll be brief tonight. Just thank you to Councilwoman Weaver for stepping up to be on our seizure committee. I appreciate that. I guess I owe her lunch or something like that, but thank you for your support.
Okay, thanks so much. We will go to elected officials matters, and I will start with, let me find my list. Who do I usually start with? Perhaps Ms. Nosler-Back.
Yeah, I don't have anything for tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thanks so much for being here. Ms. Dozeman. Her screen she may have.
Oh, there she is. Starting to move. May have to call on her again, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Ms. Dozeman, there you go.
Yeah, sorry, nothing tonight. I totally froze there for a little bit. Sorry.
That's okay. We're glad to have you here with us. Mr. Stites.
Nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor. Just remind everybody to shop local and support those Wheat Ridge businesses.
Sounds terrific. Absolutely. Ms. Weaver.
I just wanted to say how excited I am for the seizure and forfeiture committee. Even though I have no idea what it's going to involve, but it sounds very exciting. So I want you all to be ready for updates. I also just wanted to call out something since it is Mental Health Month. Last year, I got to know the Jefferson Center a bit better, and I just wanted to call out some of their amazing services for everybody. They just have a lot of great, they have virtual classes and meditation and self-esteem and help with, I don't have teens, but dealing with teens. I hear that's a thing for those of you who have kids. But it's just a really great place. And I ended up getting my vaccine at one of the Jefferson Center locations. And I just wanted to call them out as a really great place with amazing staff. And I just want to encourage everybody, whether you think you may not have mental health issues or not, there's just some really great resources on that webpage, and they, I know, are moving back into more in-person things as well. But there's just great information if you just need a website to go check out some things. So,
all right, thank you very much.
that's all. Thanks.
Appreciate that. And Ms. Hulteen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm gonna, I have a couple things here. First of all, I just wanna follow up with recognition for our amazing staff, including our city manager. I think we are well represented by the people who work for our city. And in the last week, I've had many reminders just in my interactions with the city, just how professional and enthusiastic and creative people we have working for us, and I'm grateful every day, and I know they serve our city in many ways that I'll never see, but super grateful. I also, I just am really happy we're a Tree City USA. I just think that that's one of the things I love, and I've looked at the website with the tree hunt, and I have a couple trees to suggest, Karen, so I will pass them your way. I stock a couple beautiful trees in my neighborhood and would love to get them on the list. And then lastly, I have a question regarding the upcoming forum on homelessness. And I'm just wondering if we have actually anyone experiencing homelessness who's going to be part of the panel sharing their experiences, so people in our community can actually get to know people who they don't always get to chat with.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Goff, you have some more any information on that?
Yeah, I can tell you who we've invited so far. It's not the agenda's not final, so we could always add somebody. That's a great opportunity, I think, and suggestion. And I know Chief Murtha knows somebody who we've had come to speak to our police department at in-service training this year. So we're trying not to have too many people on the panel and try to leave plenty of time for questions and answers from the community. But maybe the chief and I will talk to see if this gentleman would be interested in maybe speaking for a few minutes as part of the panel.
Wonderful. And with that, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Urban.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Thank you. Miss Hutchinson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to mention quickly that I did find out from Patrick that anybody who has branches or limbs that came down with the snowstorm, there is a place to take them, and that's by Anderson Park, by the baseball fields. So you'll have to have a truck. But I think that's great that the city is doing that, because I still see branches piled up all over. Thank you.
Great to have that service. And the one thing about being a tree city is, trees generate their own life and shed cycles. So it's good to have that resource in the city to be able to help people take care of those limbs and stuff. Ms. Hoppy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to mention that May 1st from 9 to noon is the first public outreach meeting for the Lutheran Legacy Campus. If you go to What's Up Wheat Ridge, you can get more information on that. It is a self-walking tour. And, you know, this is one of the pieces of outreach, and it's important for us to hear community voices. So if you could join for that, and the weather's going to be gorgeous. And then I just wanted to say thank you very much to our Mayor Starker, because he had a marathon of proclamations tonight. And so I really appreciate you putting out all those proclamations to recognize everybody in our community. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. You know, I don't really need any recognition. You know, it's really my pleasure in this is being able to recognize the great men and women, boys and girls, and the people that make up our community and work together to make this such a great place to live and work and play and serve and to be. You know, this is the best little town in America, and it's a bit of a well-kept secret. But I want to thank all the folks, all of our city employees that work so hard to work together, our public service and public safety personnel. We've got great resources in the mental health community. We are very fortunate tonight to have the Asian Pacific community join us tonight, and we welcome people from around the world in our community, because we are stronger together when we live and work and play together. And I'm thrilled to be just a small part of this. So I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm really excited that we're going to have this a community meeting on homelessness on the 11th. We want to look at the issues, how individuals experience homelessness in our community, what that impacts on the community, how our community can help to move individuals from homeless to housed and into being productive members of our community. So we hope we have a lot of information to put out. We want to also gather a lot of input from our community, and I hope you'll join us on May 11th at 6:30 on the virtual format. I believe that concludes our meeting tonight. Thank you all for being here. This meeting will be adjourned. Good night.